What's going on, everyone? So a ton of talk around the Lakers and Walker Kessler. Makes a lot of sense. One, Lakers need a center. Two, Walker Kessler makes all the sense in the world. Young, 23 years old, like just turned 23 if I'm not mistaken. Guy that can help you now, help you long term. Now you got your center for the next 10, 15 years. One of the best rim protectors in the league. Guy go get you 5 blocks on any given night. Pair him alongside Anthony Davis. Good luck scoring on the interior. Imagine Anthony Davis as the help defender, and then just what Walker Kessler can do as far as cleanup goes. Like, whew. But he's also a guy that long term, right? Even when LeBron rides off into the sunset, just slide 80 to the 4, plug in Walker Kessler at the 5. He's a guy that has shown the ability to, put the ball in the basket around the rim, but also has shown a little bit of an ability to knock down like the elbow, as well extend to the 3. Not a guy that I'd want taking like threes regularly, but it's nice to see that that's kind of slowly evolving into just a tool in his toolbox, right? And then also his playmaking ability, his ability to pass out of the double team, as well as just kind of run your offense through at times, right? And kind of the dribble handoffs and stuff like that. Or, you dump it down to him, he can kick it out to the shooters and stuff. Very versatile big guy that the Lakers could really use. But the biggest thing about Walker Kessler is he doesn't disrupt you pulling off and making other moves. He is so cheap that you can still essentially go get everyone else that you want, right? You can still go get a Jeremy Grant. You go get a Bruce Brown. You can get a Cam Johnson. You get Cam Johnson and a Bruce Brown, right? Like you can still go make multiple moves while adding in a Walker Kessler that can help you now in the future. Obviously, it just depends on the assets, right? How many picks and stuff do you have to give up for a Walker Kessler? But this is why I think if a Walker Kessler trade gets done for the Lakers, it is more likely than not going to be not just Walker Kessler. So based on recent reports, we got news that the Utah Jazz are interested in Jalen Hood-Schifino. This is great, right? Because that you could just clean swap Jalen Hood-Schifino for Walker Kessler. But I don't think that would be the case. Because if it was, then that would probably already get done, right? Like if Utah really does want Walker Kessler, or does really want Jalen Hood-Schifino, and the Lakers really want Walker Kessler, and it's like, hey, give us a first, whatever. I mean, obviously you could argue the picks are what's holding it up, and that's probably what the case is, but I also think that they're probably, my guess, negotiating other parts, right? Utah would love to get off of John Collins. You're not touching him with the 10-foot pole. He's got way too much money on the books, and he's not good enough to justify taking that salary. I don't mind taking on a contract if it makes sense. I've talked heavily about bringing in a Collin Sexton, right? Add Collin Sexton to Walker Kessler, throw in D'Lo and Jalen Hood-Schifino plus whatever picks you guys negotiate, and let's get this done, right? You got a guy in a Collin Sexton who can be a athletic guard, gives you a lot of the same offense versatility and production that D'Angelo Russell gives you. But yes, he's not the playmaker D'Lo is, but he gives you athleticism, he gives you rim pressure, and when he's locked in and engaged, which is the key, locked in and engaged, he's a better defender than D'Angelo Russell is. He's just small. He's like 6'1" compared to D'Lo, who's like, 6'4" or something like that. I don't hate that. And your argument and justification to the Jazz are, hey, Sexton has another year on his deal, right? Where D'Lo and Jalen Hood-Schifino are both expiring contracts. So we give you the flexibility you need on top of giving you the assets, right? Lauri Markkanen is about to get a big payday, and he's going to be on a max contract going forward. You're the worst NBA team in the league, so stack your assets. You're going to get a good pick, right? You got a guy in Lauri Markkanen that is a foundation piece, and why not clear off as much cap as you possibly can so you can start putting pieces around Lauri Markkanen to not be the worst team in the league, right? Like that would be my argument and justification. But I've heard a lot of people throw out Jordan Clarkson, and it seems like Jordan Clarkson would be the favorable for Utah, like, hey, unload Jordan Clarkson. I am not big on Jordan Clarkson. I do not really like the idea of Jordan Clarkson, right? I know a lot of fans do, right? Former Laker. My problem with Jordan Clarkson is he is incredibly inefficient. He has games, he has moments. The guy's like a 32% career three-point shooter. The guy is a guy that is like 42% from the floor, right? He's not a very efficient guy. He is a volume shot chucker that, he can go get you on 15. He can get you 15 on a given night. And off the bench, there is some justification to that. But he's not a guy that you're looking at like, oh man, he can go get you, 15 on, 10 attempts or something like that, right? Like, it's like he needs 14 attempts to go get you 15 on most nights. Now, of course, he has the outlier games. He has games where he just gets hot. His games where he's hit 6, 7 threes, right? But he's not really going to give you the floor spacing. He does give you the athleticism and rim pressure as a guard, and the Lakers bench desperately needs some help. But Collin Sexton's been coming off the bench for the Utah Jazz. So I do think that there's an argument, like, would he be willing to do that for the Lakers? Right now you got a little more justification in that regard. If you tell me, right, the only way we can get Walker Kessler is to take Jordan Clarkson, then fine, do it. Because Jordan Clarkson's only making like 14. He's making like $14.5 million. Let's call it $15 million, because you got to remember the Lakers have to send out more salary. So let's say Walker Kessler's $13 million, or sorry, $3 million. Let's say Jordan Clarkson is $15 million. You can just swap D'Lo for those two, right? Boom, clean swap. Maybe even throw them a Jalen Hood-Schifino if you want to. Although I might want to keep Jalen Hood-Schifino to see if you can add him in another deal, right? Because that's an extra $3 million in expiring salary that a team might just take to kind of help you out, right? So that way you can go do other deals. If we don't have to give up sell the farm to go do it, then fine, right? If it's like, okay, take Jordan Clarkson and we'll do one first, remove the protection, and then like a pick swap or something, and just give us D'Lo for Walker Kessler and Jordan Clarkson, then fine. The Lakers would have to waive a guy, which is why you probably throw in a Jalen Hood-Schifino. Although I would probably argue maybe throwing in like a a Cam Reddish or a Jackson Hayes. And you might be wondering like why? Like, get rid of Jalen Hood-Schifino, because Jalen Hood-Schifino makes like $1 million more than those two, right? And that $1 million can be the difference between you going and getting another guy or not. So you could do something where it's like D'Lo and say Cam Reddish or Jackson Hayes for those two, and just do 2-for-2 swap, and then it's clean, because otherwise you'd have to waive a guy. But I would want to keep Jalen Hood-Schifino in that case, just because, again, he just makes more money. So one, if you do keep him, it's just more money off the books in the offseason, right? That $1 million could be Lakers are $45K from the second apron. That $1 million could be the difference between you being a first apron team or a second apron team, right? So those kind of things do matter under the new CBA. But also, I just think a team would be willing to kind of take him as a tack on, right? And I think teams would be more willing to kind of just take him if you needed to clear a spot, a roster spot or something like that, to bring in a guy, right? As opposed to like a Cam Reddish, people might be like, well, we want an asset for. Where, you look at a guy like Jalen Hood-Schifino, I know Laker fans aren't super sold on him, but he's 21 years old, 6'5" combo guard. And you're telling me I could get him for free, right? Like, why not at least take the shot? Why not just take the chance and see if maybe there's something there? So I would want to keep that in that regard. But, again, I'm not a huge fan of Jordan Clarkson. However, if that's the only way to get Walker Kessler, I would do it, right? Because, again, now you got at least you got a proven bench scorer. You got a proven bench, a guy that can give you buckets alongside, hopefully, a healthy Christian Wood. Now you got two guys that are proven to go give you, 15 to 17 on any given night, right? That now I think would kind of take a lot of pressure off of the Lakers. Also would take pressure off of Max Christie, Dalton Knecht, because now they don't have to be the 6th and 7th best guy, right? Now they're like the 9th and 10th best guy, because you have, Walker Kessler, Jordan Clarkson, and Christian Wood, and then you're adding in Max Christie and Dalton Knecht, right? I just think that now you have a lot more there. And then you still have like Rui Hachimura. You still have like a Gabe Vincent. So have Max Christie's salary after the December 15th if you need be, right? Like you still, a Jared Vanderbilt you could unload if you need to. So you still have plenty of salary, along with hopefully another pick and some pick swaps to maybe get some other moves done. Maybe now you're going to go get a Wayne or something along those lines. again, it's not my favorite. I would rather have Collin Sexton. I would even rather give up like an extra second or something for Collin Sexton. Because Collin Sexton's also young. Like Jordan Clarkson's what, 32? I think, off the top of my head. Right? He's 32, where Collin Sexton's like 25. Right? So you have, like, he's a guy that you can have long term, and he's been willing to come off the bench for Utah and not gripe, complain, and cry and throw a fit. Right? What would he? I imagine he'd do the same for the Lakers. Right? Like, so now you get the same level of bench production, but on better efficiency, better 3-point shooting. You still get the athleticism. You still get the point of attack. I would, like, that's my ideal, and I'd even be willing to give up slightly more, not a ton. Right? I'm not giving up both first, but, you know, if you were like, hey, you have to throw me a second in order to get, you know, a Sexton over Clarkson, then yeah, I'd be like, all right, fine. Like, just do it and get it over with. Because now you got Sexton, now you got Walker Kessler, and again, you still have, you know, Max Christie, Gabe Vincent, Jared Vanderbilt, Rui Hachimura. So you still have another like $50 million in salary or whatever it is to still go make other moves. You could still go get a Bruce Brown and a Cam Johnson if you wanted to, right? Like, and unload those guys. So you'd still be in very good shape. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think, like, yeah, it has to be Collin Sexton, stay away from Jordan Clarkson? Do you think, like, no, you got to get Jordan Clarkson? Is he your preferred over Collin Sexton? Or do you not really care? Just get Walker Kessler, like, whatever it takes. It's kind of where I'm at. Like, whatever you got to do to get Walker Kessler. Although, like, if you can kind of nudge to get a Collin Sexton, I would prefer, personally, go get Collin Sexton over Jordan Clarkson, right? I think that there's arguments for both, but I just think Sexton's younger, he's more athletic, or I guess you could argue similar athleticism, but he's smaller than Jordan Clarkson is, but he's just much more efficient. He's a better 3-point shooter, still gives you the same level of rim pressure. I just think it's the same thing. But anyway, again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.